Thought I could beat anyone, so I was like, I'm lying to myself. I really know I can do this, and now I just need to do it.
Well, you just beat the #1 player in the world, okay? And by the way, this ain't the first time you beat her. You beat her in 2023. You beat her again this time around. Aryna Sabalenka, that's her name. I'm bringing her up because even though she was the #1 player in the world, I don't think she should be that way now, not after this loss. It should be you. But I'm asking, what is her problem? I mean, somebody got to ask this question. She came across as a very sore loser.
Nobody expected the biggest story after the French Open final to be a television interview. Yet within hours of Coco Gauff lifting the trophy, the conversation had shifted from the championship itself to a heated debate involving Aryna Sabalenka and Stephen A. Smith. What should have been a simple celebration of one of the greatest victories of Gauff's young career suddenly became something much larger. Fans weren't just talking about the score anymore. They were talking about respect, accountability, and whether champions always receive the credit they deserve. Stephen A. Smith wasted no time addressing the controversy, openly questioning comments that emerged after the match and challenging the narrative that quickly began spreading online. His frustration was impossible to miss. Instead of focusing on explanations for why the result happened, he believed people should focus on what actually occurred on the court. A 21-year-old player had just defeated the world #1 on one of the sport's biggest stages. Yet somehow, the discussion was drifting away from that achievement. The moment Stephen A. began asking tough questions, viewers realized this wasn't going to be a typical sports interview. It was turning into a debate that reached far beyond tennis, and the reaction from fans around the world showed just how emotionally invested people had become in the story.
Honestly, I wanted to play the best player in the world, and with the results and the rankings, she proved that she's the best player in the world. And obviously, maybe it might be different after yesterday, but yeah, I think for me, I wanted that matchup. I didn't want an excuse, especially I feel like people always try to make excuses as to why I win. So I was like, I want to play and give people like I played the best player in the world and I can beat her. And I did it in US Open. She was ranked #2, finished that #1. And yeah, the comments yesterday or after the match.
It was windy. She blamed the wind.
Those comments I was a little bit surprised by them. But like at the end of the day, I mean, what happened.
Lost in all the noise was the incredible accomplishment Coco Gauff had just achieved. Winning the French Open is a dream that countless players chase throughout their entire careers, yet many never come close to reaching it. Gauff not only reached that level, but did so while facing enormous expectations and intense pressure. At just 21 years old, she entered the tournament carrying the hopes of fans who believed she represented the future of American tennis. Throughout the event, she displayed maturity beyond her years, handling difficult opponents and challenging moments with remarkable composure. The final itself tested every part of her game. After falling behind early, she could have allowed frustration to take over. Instead, she adjusted, stayed focused, and gradually shifted momentum in her favor. Her ability to remain calm under pressure reminded many observers of champions who built legendary careers through mental toughness rather than raw talent alone. By the time she completed the comeback, she had become the first American woman since Serena Williams to capture the French Open title. It was the kind of victory that should have dominated headlines for days. Yet as celebrations began, another storyline started taking shape, one that threatened to overshadow the achievement entirely.
Both had to play in the wind. We both had to deal with those conditions. I didn't feel great on the court at all. I went down 4-1. I thought I was playing the worst tennis of the tournament. But I think the difference was I was able to recognize that and find a different way to try to win that match. But I mean, she's probably emotional about it, so I'm not going to take it with too much anything. And I do hope people give her a little bit of...
The controversy gained momentum when post-match comments became the center of attention. Almost immediately, fans began analyzing every word and debating what was really being said. Some believed the remarks reflected the normal disappointment that follows a painful defeat, while others felt they shifted focus away from Gauff's performance and toward external factors. Social media exploded with opinions from every direction. Supporters of Gauff argued that both competitors played under identical conditions and that adapting to challenges is part of what separates champions from everyone else. Others defended Sabalenka, pointing out that athletes often speak emotionally after heartbreaking losses. The debate grew larger with every passing hour because it touched on something deeper than a single match. Sports fans have always argued about excuses, accountability, and how winners should be recognized. This situation became a perfect example of that discussion. The more people talked about conditions, circumstances, and explanations, the more attention moved away from the actual tennis that had been played. Suddenly, what happened after the final seemed almost as important as the final itself. And as the arguments intensified across television and online platforms, Stephen A. Smith decided to push the conversation in a direction few expected. What made Stephen A.'s comments so controversial was that he wasn't satisfied with simply discussing post-match reactions. Instead, he questioned something much bigger: the idea that rankings automatically determine who the best player in the world truly is. His argument was straightforward but powerful. If Coco Gauff continues defeating Aryna Sabalenka in the most important matches of their careers, then perhaps fans should reconsider how they define greatness. Rankings reward consistency across an entire season, and there is no doubt that consistency matters. However, Stephen A. focused on the moments that define legacies. Grand Slam finals are where pressure reaches its highest level, where careers can be transformed in a matter of hours. When those moments arrived, Gauff found a way to win. That reality fueled a passionate discussion among fans who wondered whether championship performances should carry more weight than regular season results. The debate quickly spread beyond television studios and into every corner of the sports world. Some people agreed completely with Stephen A., while others believed the ranking system remained fair. Regardless of where fans stood, one thing became clear: the conversation was no longer just about one match. It was becoming a larger debate about excellence, pressure, and what truly separates champions from contenders. While the sports world argued over rankings and post-match comments, Coco Gauff responded in a way that impressed even many of her critics. Rather than attacking anyone or fueling the controversy, she remained composed and thoughtful throughout the discussion. Her approach demonstrated the maturity that has become one of her defining characteristics. Instead of focusing on negativity, she acknowledged that losing a major final is emotionally difficult and that athletes sometimes say things in the heat of the moment. Yet she also made an observation that resonated with countless fans. Gauff suggested that people often search for reasons to explain her victories rather than simply accepting that she earned them. It was a calm statement, but it carried significant weight because many supporters felt they had witnessed similar situations before. Throughout her career, Gauff has repeatedly responded to challenges with poise and professionalism, and this moment was no different. She emphasized the adjustments she made during the match, the mental battles she overcame, and the determination required to compete at the highest level. Her comments shifted the focus back toward performance and preparation rather than excuses and controversy. In many ways, her reaction strengthened her image as a champion just as much as the victory itself. As the dust continues to settle, the larger questions raised by this controversy remain unanswered. What truly defines the best player in the world? Is it a ranking built over months of consistent results? Or is it the ability to rise above pressure and deliver victories when everything is on the line? Fans will continue debating those questions for a long time. What cannot be debated, however, is what happened on the court. Coco Gauff entered one of the biggest matches of her career against the world's top-ranked player and emerged victorious through resilience, adaptability, and determination. She overcame adversity, handled pressure, and delivered a performance worthy of a champion. The controversy surrounding the aftermath may eventually fade from headlines, but the significance of the victory will remain. Years from now, people will remember who lifted the trophy, not every argument that followed. Yet the discussion sparked by Stephen A. Smith ensured that this moment became about more than tennis. It became a conversation about recognition, respect, and how greatness is measured. And if Coco Gauff continues collecting major titles while defeating elite opponents in the sport's biggest moments, the debate over who truly deserves the top spot may become impossible for anyone to ignore.